Welcome to the Springs in the Desert podcast. We're so happy that you're here with us. We're those friends that you can take with you wherever you are on the path of infertility.
Hello, and welcome back to the Springs in the Desert podcast. We're so glad you're here today. We're bringing you an episode of Desert Reflections, our mini episode that brings you a little bit of joy and a little bit of lighthearted conversation with a couple of our team members. And today I'm joined by Cassandra from the Springs in the Desert team. And this is Jillian, your host for today's episode. You know, it's a new year. We're coming to you in a new season for many people. We've been talking about different resolutions that we've been making and what the new year looks like for us in this community. And we wanted to just talk a little bit today about what it's like to be in a new home in a season of infertility. You know, there's so many ways that our homes can be an inviting place and a way to really just be fruitful to those in our communities and in our families, those that the Lord has given to us. And so one of our team members, Cassandra, is in a new home recently. And so I just wanted to talk about what maybe we are doing in our homes to invite people in, and maybe what are some projects that we're looking forward to continue that inviting spirit. So Cassandra, what have you been doing in your new home? What's it looking like for you?
Yeah, thanks, Jillian. So my husband and I have been in our home for about 6 months. And this is our first home that we've owned, thanks be to God.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, and it's been a lot. As I'm sure anyone who has moved into a home or embarked on any of those kind of big life projects where you imagine what it's going to be like, and then it happens, and there's so much that's out of your control, and, just all those challenges and paperwork and
Right.
unfun things that also have to be overcome. And all those discussions you get into with your spouse, right? Colors and furniture, and a lot of that can be fun and a lot of it can be not fun. So for us so far, because my husband was also starting a new position at work, kind of at the same time, it's kind of been some starting and stopping. So
Sure.
Lots of time on Facebook Marketplace hunting down some furniture. So that was a lot in the beginning, and painting. And then, we've kind of come to a place of homeostasis, I think maybe is the word. Not sure.
I love that.
Yeah, where we're just kind of on pause. I am hopeful that things will get hung up on the wall eventually.
Yes.
But we've been able, actually pretty much from the beginning, we were having people over, and we actually got our house blessed before we moved in.
Awesome.
Which, when one of our friends was like, "Did you call a Sacramento hotline?" But it was a funny moment because our friends in our community came over. It was the dad and the two of the little boys, and then the wife, and the other would come later. And they have this like white blonde hair. And I just remember like during the blessing, just seeing this like blonde head just like walk past the window. And I was just like, you know what? Like, this is a home. Yes. This is our home, and it's so wonderful. And we pack like everyone in. We've had like many people because we were receiving some carolers, which we were very excited about. Ooh. So just people packing in, and then friends and little groups of students and things. So at least three people have just said how much they like being here and how it's so homey. And that's really nice to hear because, we don't have children, and this exercising of hospitality is really a way of bringing new life into this home. So that's been really nice. Yes. Although everything's not perfect, but that's been really nice.
Gosh, I love everything that you just said. We moved into our home about a year ago, and one of the first things that we did was have a home blessing and a housewarming party kind of all in one. So it was really interesting because, there were people who have never seen a house blessing before who came over, and those who were super excited to participate in that once again. But I love what you said about bringing life into the home. Our home was built in the 50s, so it's pretty small, quaint rooms. But I think we had maybe 30 people at different times, all over the place. And so it was so fun to really kind of spark the fire for hospitality with a house blessing. So I love that you did that.
Yeah, it's so great. And our house was built in 1890.
Whoa! Love that.
Yeah, New England, baby. So we actually got the house blessed in the old rite, which includes like an exorcism in it. So that was good.
Awesome.
But then after, my husband actually popped a bottle of sparkling wine or whatever, and the priest was like, "That's the first time that's happened." It's like, well, why not?
Why not?
Pop bottles, house blessing. It is what it is.
Yes. And all those details you talked about, from picking the paint color to kind of the layout of your living room or finding that perfect piece on Facebook Marketplace, I think are really intentional ways that you're serving your family and the guests that will come into your home, that you wanted the space to be welcoming and or whatever sort of feeling you're going for, that you planned for it. I think that's a beautiful way to start your adventure in a new home.
Yeah.
I'm curious if, you talked about being in this period of homeostasis, and if you could pick kind of one project that you might pick up the next time, what might that be for you and Mike?
So we do have a project in the dream works.
Okay.
And when we win the lottery, God willing, it will happen. We don't play the lottery, but it's that kind of thing. So we just moved in. So it's been, and that's kind of a shock financially, right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
But we actually did have an architect in here the other day because our house was built in 1890. We only have one bathroom.
Whoa.
Which is fine when it's just the two of you. But I feel like this is part of infertility. Right? And this was actually one of the things I was like, I'm not moving into a house with not two bathrooms,
Right.
But then the market happens, and we really love our house. Love it. But it's major flaw. So we are hopeful that we'll be able to just, put a bathroom in on top of where the other one is, in the hopes that maybe we'll have other people living in this house.
Yes.
But it is, there's tension there, right? Because it's hard to plan for people who are not here yet in any kind of real way,
Right.
And it's, Stacy, our friend, has talked about this before too, about feeling like the guest room, right? I remember when we put the beds in the guest room, all of a sudden I felt like a little weird about the guest room. And it is hard.
Yeah,
it is hard, but I don't know. I remember something a social worker said to me during chemo, that it's like, and he said it not in the context of setting up your home or whatever, but that the emotional preparation and mourning I was going through was like basically an act of parenting, was the gist of it. So I hope that these kind of plans and weird feelings about the guest room will be an act of parenting as well. So
yes,
we'll see.
Yes, that's so beautiful. I want to pray with that some more, because I too, we have actually 4 bedrooms in our house, and the 2 in the basement are set up as bedrooms to be used. But, when I dust it and, they're not full, or we're not planning for anyone to stay, it is kind of, it's challenging to sort of think about the purpose of a home and what we're using the space for. Jesse and I, when we have the opportunity to host, are we really love to. And that was something that we decided pretty early on in our season of infertility that we wanted to host a lot. We wanted people to know that our home is their home and that they're always welcome. And so one of our next projects is going to be to pour a patio in our backyard so that we can grill and have a table out there. You know, we have all these pieces from different seasons of our life prior to this. So we've got the grill and we've got the table and the chairs, but we have no place to put them.
Yeah.
So we want to, just create a space in our backyard that we can have people over often and invite them into that, and just give a sense of purpose to the space that we have, you know, a lovely space that otherwise is a little bit challenging to work with. And when we're out there and we can't really do anything with it, it sort of feels, it can be difficult to be in that space. But we're hopeful that doing that will give us encouragement to invite new people over and make new friends, and to make our home more welcoming.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, right? And the grill. I mean, the grill is a game changer in terms of hospitality. I mean, our grill is massive. Like, we never would have needed it for just the two of us. But when we have all these people over, it's great, you know?
It is, yes. Yeah. And just that too, Jesse and I have made a few other purchases like that, where we might not just use it, the two of us, but we're prepared and ready to go, and we can invite someone new or some friends over to the house. So it's exciting to think about those things. And I'm looking forward to getting a bathroom update in the future to see if that works out.
We'll see.
Well, Cassandra, thank you so much for sharing about what it's like being in a new home, your first home, and some of the struggles that come with it, but some of the joys that come with just planning and making decisions together as a husband and wife. I am definitely looking forward to part 2. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on the Springs in the Desert podcast. We cannot wait to talk with you next time. And until then, just know we're praying for you, and it's an honor to walk with you.
Thank you so much for joining us for this Springs in the Desert podcast episode. If you have a minute, please rate and review us so that we can reach more listeners. Check out our social media pages on Facebook and Instagram, and go to our website, springsinthedesert.org, where you can sign up for our newsletter and hear about more things that we have going on. Most importantly, remember that God loves you so much, and so do we.